Just have to wait for our viewers. What do we got here? We have that. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Counting down. See how many people join us for our Thursday. 4:15. We have a viewer. Yay. Welcome to our Facebook and YouTube live stream for another weekday. We've got 2 viewers. Tina's there. Hi, Tina. And yeah, we'll just wait for a few more people to show up, and then I get to show you some lovely, lovely new stuff. And we've got a little bit of technique to talk about today as well. I like these Thursdays, this Tools and Techniques Thursday. Because it gives us a chance not only to show you new things, but to show you some of the fun things you can do with the items that we have in the store. So we'll see who else decides to join us today. I don't know about you folks, but I'm a little confused. Robin's here from Maryland, and Paulette is here. They're joining us on our YouTube chat line, so that's lovely to see. Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know about you. My calendar says it is September the 1st, but my phone says it's 29 degrees out there, which still feels like summer to me. So, is it summer? Is it fall? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. But in some ways, despite the temperature, it kind of feels like fall to me. It's dark in the mornings when I get up now, so that's kind of a tip. It's actually dark when I go to bed, which is quite a change in things. Haven't noticed any leaves changing yet, but we know that that will come. So we're gonna think fall. And to do that, we're going to have a good close look at this beautiful fabric line behind me. This is a new line of, I call them textured solids. They're not a flat color. They've got a little bit of a textured speckle to them. It's called Cottage Cloth. And you can see I put all 24 of them out here so that I could make you a rainbow. 24 colors in this lovely textured semi-solid, and definitely leaning to the autumn colors, the autumn shades. So really starts to get you thinking about some of those things that you might want to create for, oh, I don't know, Thanksgiving, Halloween, maybe even into Christmas. Why not? So yes, 24 colors, starting here with almost a true red, a little bit of an orangey red, through the oranges, the gold colors, the little bit of mustardy golds there, a nice range of greens in the center, and then segueing right out here to a nice navy, a teal, and right through into your purples. Everything a little softened, everything with a little bit of gray in it, so you know it's going to mix well with pretty much any of your background fabrics that you want to choose. We pulled a couple of things just to kind of give you a heads up as to what you could use it for. Our West Hawk quilt pattern. Dawn's made these into kits in the past, so I think this fabric line would be awesome in that West Hawk pattern, or indeed any of the patterns from the Blanket Statement Pattern Company. They're very simple, very easy to do, very, very striking once they're made up. I quilted one for one of my regular customers. They're amazing, these little blanket statement patterns. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you want to do something maybe a little more challenging or a little more traditional, brand new in this guy called Summer Village, but there's no reason why you can't do it in autumn colors and call it Autumn Village. This is from Laundry Basket Quilts. And you have, I don't know, lots of different houses there. I kind of like how that's been arranged so that you have color blocking in the pattern. You don't have to do that, obviously, but Block a Month pattern contains instructions for 8-pieced quilt sections and easy to follow quilt assembly directions for all level of quilters. So that one is from Laundry Basket Quilts. And there's lots and lots of other patterns that are particularly suited to the solids and semi-solids. I love those. I just think lots of room for quilting. Yes. So yes, September 1st. And I don't know about you folks, but I have been trying the last few weeks to kind of get a handle on I'm reading some of the comments here. Paulette's in Las Vegas. It's 111 degrees. I wish it was fall. Yeah, 111 is pretty hot. The 111 Fahrenheit is probably close to 40 degrees here. So yeah, I guess that makes our 27 sound pretty cool. I've been trying to work my way through some of those projects at home that they're either started or you bought that panel and you still haven't got to it yet. So I'm making a concerted effort to finish things. So I thought for you today, considering it's Tools and Techniques Thursday, I would try and finish my Dream Big panel. Now we started this, I'm going to hold up a corner, it'll be familiar to you. Yeah. We started this quite a while ago as a class, and I just want to remind everybody that our classes are always available to you to sign up because they're all recorded, and I think that's an amazing feature that COVID has kind of brought to us, is the fact that when we teach a class, it's recorded. So just because the class has finished, it doesn't mean you can't participate. You just sign up for the class and it's available to you as a virtual. And that means you can watch the sessions over and over. You can watch, do a little bit, watch again. Hi, Anne from Northern Ontario. That's nice to see everybody joining us from across the country. I think that's amazing. So don't forget, check out not necessarily our class page, but our class catalog on our website, and just kind of browse through some of the classes that have finished but are still available for you to sign up for, and enjoy participating that way. So Dream Big is one of them. It was a free motion quilting class designed for the, oh my gosh, I've never free motion quilted before. And it was designed specifically for working on your domestic sewing machine. So no fancy long arms, sit down, relax, and learn the basic stitches. So we also have a couple of new books in that line. I'm going to hold them up one at a time. This is Krista Watson, Machine Quilting with Style. And it is done on a regular sewing machine. And she's got, I like these books because there's projects in it. So it's not just about the quilting. It is also quilt patterns. But quilt patterns that are particularly suited, let's say maybe to the new Cottage Cloth fabric line. Simple, almost modern looking quilt designs that are really going to let you explore free motion quilting when you're finished. So that was the one by Krista right there. And then her first one, something we all struggle with, how do I quilt it? Your go-to guide to modern machine quilting. And again, it's a book with patterns in it for quilts and then suggestions of quilting designs to use on that quilt. Some of them are free motion, and some of them are walking foot quilts. So you can quilt if you're a little concerned about free motion work. You haven't done the Dream Big class yet. You can still get your quilt quilted using your walking foot. So there's a couple of brand new, really good resources for you. So, how far did I get on my Dream Big panel? Well, I have all of the petals done with nice feathers and assorted designs. That was the fun part about the class. All the different petals, you could practice different things. And now we are out to the edges. And I'm going to switch over to the close-up view. See if I can check my monitor. Oh no, that's not going to help you. Goodness me. Goodness me. Let's move that camera. Let's move that camera. That looks a little bit better. Right about there. So we are right out to the edges of our Dream Big panel. Dark blue. I've got some dark blue thread. I've got my free motion foot on. And what I'm going to do with this, because in a sense, this is almost like your background of your floral panel. I want to do something dense and something neutral that's just going to squash down that fabric and let all the fancy quilted parts show. So that's why I've matched my thread, unlike this part that I was just playing with this afternoon where I did kind of a purpley pink thread on the dark blue. I want to try and match this as well as I can. And we're going to go right back to basics for this one. And so the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is set my machine to free motion quilting. So I'm touch this, and touch that. So all machines are different. You'll have to figure out on your machine how to get it in free motion mode. But once you've done that, then you can pretty much doodle as much as you like. A lot of times when it comes to setting off a quilted piece and you want this background to lay down nicely, a lot of people will resort to straight lines. And I really had trouble with this panel because it's kind of printed in straight lines like this, and I always want to put lines on it. But, you know, it's not always appropriate. This is a very organic, florally pattern, and I don't know if straight lines are really going to do it justice. So I've kind of decided on a lot of these areas, I'm just going to do what we call a micro stipple. Good old meander, but done small scale. So two things we want to always remember. Lower your presser foot. And because I'm working on a brother, I can't bring up my bobbin thread. It's a drop-in bobbin and it's been used with thread cutter. So it's just got a little teeny thread, but it's going to sew fine because it's set that way. Now, the other thing I want to make sure I do for micro quilting is have a nice short stitch length. The shorter the stitch length, the smoother the small curves will be. So right now I'm at a 2 millimeter. I'm going to try it with that, and if I don't like it, I'll shorten it even more. So here we go, a little micro stippling. Loosen up the hands. You don't want to grab your fabric too tightly. It's better to stitch a bit, stop and rest than to get your hands all cramped up. Got my speed turned up and establish the speed you want to use. And a stipple always reminds me of the old family circus cartoons where the kids are wandering around the neighborhood. So I've told a lot of people this fairly recently. Free motion quilting should involve more than just one sense. Yes, you're looking at what you're doing, you're watching it. You're also feeling the way the fabric is moving. You'll be able to feel if there's ripples, but also use your ears. I establish that rhythm of the machine, the stitch speed, and if I can keep that sounding constant, then it's easier to keep my hands moving at a constant speed. There we go. So it's about there that I want. Guess I've matched the thread really well. I'm having trouble seeing it. So the nice thing with something like this is a Brother 30 or 2500 Chelsea brought me. Even without the extended table, it has a nice wide base to the machine. So for something this size, it's not that difficult to maneuver it and still have enough support for my hands as I move the fabric around. So hopefully if I kind of poke that up a little bit, you can see we've got some of that quilted. Oh, don't lean forward and put more pressure on the foot. So if you're concerned about speeding up too much like that, use the adjustable speed lever or slider on your machine so that it's like a governor on it. You can only go so fast no matter how hard you press down on the foot pedal. And of course, the key to a nice meander is changing directions. Otherwise, you end up with a nice design, but a different design. There we go. There's the first section done. So I don't have to quilt all of my background sections the same way. Here's a really small one right here, same color, But let's try something just a wee bit different in this one, just for fun. Again, though, I'm going to keep the scale fairly small. So I did what we call a micro stipple. Let's do some pebbles. I love doing pebbles because it's mindless almost. You go one way and then the other way, one way and then the other way. So we get started. We go counterclockwise, clockwise. It's almost like making a figure eight, except your snowmen are touching. Any of these small scale designs are going to achieve the goal of squashing down those background sections and letting the quilted part rise to the top. Here's another little small section, quite a bit lighter in color. So, what shall we quilt in this one? This is a practice piece. This Dream Big panel is designed for you to experiment with different stitches. So it's okay to quilt differently. And I am going to just echo that shape because it's quite small. So I'm going to go down and out. Move over about 1/4 of an inch. And that is all filled in. How far is my next section? Oh, it's a ways. My little snips here. I try to keep the threads under control as I go because we don't want to tangle in anything. So what I have here, this section, is actually part of the petal in behind. And then this is my background. So I quilted this part of the petal with a lighter blue thread. I'm going to do something similar in here, and then we're just going to move over here and do a little bit more flattening. Maybe what I will do is borrow a design from one of these new books. And I think I don't want hard edge, but oh, that's nice. That's kind of a flame look. We will do flames in there because hey, why not? But let's fill this one in. I just, it's part of the petal. It should be treated as such. So lower my foot. And we have a feather on that one. So let's do a nice little swoop. I love doing curls. Oh, look, I traveled right out to that area. So I want to do, I did a panto one time ages ago, and it was rather like it. If you're familiar with agate, the rock, it's gorgeous. And agate has, it sort of starts in the center with a circle, and it's got a little wiggly line of a different color, and it goes round and round. So I think I'm going to try something like that. It's not exactly a meander, but it's not exactly a pebble. So let's see if we can give that one a try. And I'm actually going to start right in the center. And it will look a little bit rocky, hopefully. There we go. So we're going to start with an irregular little circle like that. I'm going to get that thread out of the way. And then I'm almost just going to do a wiggly spiral out from around there. Make it look like that agate rock. This would be a fun design to stitch with a variegated thread so that you would see different shades in different parts of the design. And it's a great one for people who go, oh, I can't sew a straight line or make that shape. You can make all kinds of shapes. When you come there and you can't go around any further, just come back out. Always have that border outside the quilt. I think I forgot to switch you, so that I'm going to do now. And I'm going to hold that design up. Let's pull it right out here. There we are. That one's a keeper. I like doing that design. You could hopefully see how short a time that took. Just right in there. And it gives a nice textured look. A little bit organic, not straight lines. Super, super easy to do. And I like it so well. How much time have I got? Yeah, I got a little bit more time. I'm going to do one more section with that same design so that you can see how I play with it. There we go. I think I'm just going to work this little section for you. Starting in the center. Press your foot down with just a little irregular circle. Give my threads a bit of a snip. There we go. And now just kind of spiral out around it. There where this narrows down, you can actually just kind of go back and forth. And we can even make another little circle and start working our design from another center. So, very, very simple, very easy to do. If you were to do that same design on a larger scale, you could use that to fill a large area around a piece of applique or a piece of embroidery, or even just a quilt block. Uh-oh, we got threads. There we go. So don't be afraid to try your free motion. Don't be afraid to finish all of those unfinished projects. We won't call them UFOs. They're not unforgotten. They're just mellowing, kind of like good wine. So yes, we'll get those lovely mellowed quilt projects out of the back of the closet and make yourself kind of a promise that you're gonna finish a few of those before you give yourself chance to start on some of the new stuff that is coming in. And you know, if you've really lost interest in it, there's lots of charities that you can give those projects to who would be happy to finish them for you and pass them on to a recipient. So nothing ever goes to waste, and it shouldn't really. So that's what I have for you today. I'm glad you could join me for our Technique Tuesday. Technique Thursday, tools and techniques. Yes, I'm losing a couple of days here. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to our Facebook, our YouTube, and look us up on YouTube. A lot of the videos from our Facebooks and from our classes are popped up there, so you can refresh your memory, on the name of this lovely fabric selection, which is Cottage Cloth. So if you think cottage, it's still summery, you wish you were at the cottage, but you kind of want to work on fall, this is a good beginning. That's what I've got for you today. Join me next time, likely one day next week. Not sure which one yet. And have a great weekend coming up. Enjoy the weather while we have it. I'm guessing we've got probably at least another week of really nice weather. So, yeah. And watch out for the kidlings out there. First day of school in Calgary. So, drive with just a little bit more care and attention as you make your way around. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.